Do you often draw a blank when it comes to doing nail art? Oh my God, yes, I do. For me, it happens so often, and I'm also not really very naturally creative. So, definitely had a problem in this department. Now, I can put things together, colors, media, know how to seal it properly, but when it comes to just creativity, I just draw a blank more often than I like to. But one thing that I've always enjoyed resorting to in the salon with clients was stickers. Like, they never let me down. Anytime I applied a sticker, I was happy, the client was happy, the set looked beautiful. Done. Like, oh my God, why do I ever need to hand paint anything when it's already perfectly painted for me on a decal or sticker? Well, I'll tell you what, I haven't changed much after many years of doing nails now. I still resort to stickers and on the regular. If you're a nail tech and you're pressed for time, you probably are like me also. Quick, simple, and cute, please. In today's video, we'll be talking about two types of decals or stickers that are my favorite to use on gel nails. They are number one, Waterslide decals, and number two, Japanese nail artist stickers. Let's dive in. Hey there and welcome back. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Paola of PaolaPonceNails.com, and I help current and aspiring nail techs master all of their gel nail services using soft gel only. If this sounds like a niche you'd like to consider exploring, then at the end of this video, do consider subscribing. All right, let's begin with what are the differences between waterslide decals and stickers. Waterslide decals are images printed on clear decal paper that are applied to any smooth surface, in this case nails, by soaking their paper backing in water. Now, you don't have to do anything crazy like grab a whole bowl of water to soak these things. Just simple H2O, by the way, loosens off the image from the paper. Again, nothing fancy. Just have a bottle of water, preferably with a dispenser. I'll show you what I use. So you can just pour water on a little napkin, okay? This then allows you to slide off the image onto the nail. Nail stickers are just traditional images printed on sticker paper with a sticky adhesive on the back. To apply them to the natural nail, you guessed it, you simply peel it off and onto a matted surface of the nail. That is important that the nail be matted. Okay, we will talk about that in our step by step. I will show you how to apply both types of decals or stickers, and you can tell me in the comment section, what do you prefer? What are you going to try? Don't knock anyone until you try it. Okay, both type of decals require they be sealed with at least one coat of gel for extended wear, but I do recommend two, and again we'll get into the details of that in our step by step. Okay, let's begin with the application of traditional stickers. Here are all of the supplies you'll need after adding at least a foundation gel to your nails. Clear gel to top coat and seal the stickers. You'll also need very pointy tweezers with a silicone cap, or you can use a separate silicone brush, a curing unit, and that's about it for the decals. If I need any extra, I'll let you know as it comes up in the step by step. So let's begin applying these. Step one. First things first, when working with any nail art, but specifically like decals, anything with a sticky backing, I do recommend that you always work with gloves. Okay, so another thing that we need to note here with the traditional stickers is that these will not stick to your gel nails if the inhibition layer is still present. You can just go ahead and wipe it with alcohol, but what I like to do is actually just gently file the surface of the enhancement. Now, again, if this is color, you don't have to buff the surface. You can just remove the inhibition layer and proceed, but I do like to buff just because I feel like it makes it just a little bit more thin, like the whole enhancement, rather than just keep adding layers. Speaking of which, the other thing you can do is apply a matte top coat. So if instead of buffing the surface or just removing the tacky layer, you don't want to do that, maybe applying a matte top coat is easier for you, then go ahead and do that, because all you will do is apply that matte top coat on all of your fingernails that are going to wear a decal. And that's it. You don't need to wipe it. You don't need to buff it, because here the idea is that it will stick on a matte or non-sticky surface. Now, once you've decided what you're going to do, remember your options are wiping off with alcohol or buffing with a very gentle buffer. And I mean either 200 grit or 400 grit, or just applying a non-wipe matte top coat. Decide which one you're going to do. You only need to do one. Then if you buffed it, and then you obviously will have to cleanse it with a manicure brush. I recommend a wet manicure brush and alcohol, and then a towelette. And then you're going to proceed to applying your decals. So go ahead and look through your sheet, decide which ones do you like. Now, the very cool thing about these stickers is that they are laser, if that's even a thing, laser thin. They are so thin. They are just, you can stack them. They will not bulk up on you. They don't have dimension on them. Like, they're pretty flat. So this is super cool if you do want to join in a couple to make like a nice cute floral arrangement or whatever the occasion on that decal sheet may suggest. So I do also recommend that you wear that you use tweezers, and not just any tweezers. The Japanese gel stickers that we are using today, they are from Clow, any one of them, whether you use Clow or you use the Meili. They are super thin, and they do require that you use very pointy tweezers. Okay, so I'll link you to the ones that I use. They can get really expensive, but the ones that I use are not too expensive. You can find them on Amazon. They're in my Amazon favorites link. So I'll link you to that. And you'll also need a silicone tool or a cap for your application of these decals. Now, when you are picking off your sticker, you'll notice that I almost stabbed it or picked it off with a really pointed end of the tweezers. You can do that, or you can also use the side of your tweezers, but sometimes it's really on there and I feel like you do have to kind of poke it out before you get a grip on it. Okay, continue using your tweezers to then transfer it onto your prepped nail and press it on. Now, I am using my fingers, but even better, switch over to a silicone tool because it's just going to give you the right amount of pressure on that sticker, and it's going to be nice and bouncy and safe. You won't break your sticker, okay? But if you don't have it, just use your gloves while you're wearing them to press the sticker on. Notice how thin, how beautiful, how dainty it is. So I'm just going to leave it as is, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to seal this. Now, it's not a true encapsulation where I'm just going to grab a whole bunch of product. In fact, I don't want you even using builder. I want you to use base gel, okay? You can use matte top, or if you're using a top coat that requires wiping, that's fine. But what you don't want to do right now, unless your client needs it, is to add a builder gel on top of this decal, because you are going to make that nail bulky and unnecessarily. Again, unless your client needs it, like you're going to give her a soft builder gel overlay, then sure, go ahead and do it now. But I guess you have to apply it on all nails, right? So again, no builder gel. You're going to take a minimal, and boy, I mean minimal amount of base gel, and you're going to press it, and I mean press it. Do you want to use some pressure so that you are sealing in the sticker, and you want to immediately send it off to a flash cure or use a flash curing unit. And you do want it to cure for about 5 to 10 seconds before you move on to the next thing. Now, if the next thing is you're done, you just need some top coat on this, then obviously give it a full cure. But if you're just flash curing to move on to the next step or another nail, then just 10 seconds is fine for now, okay? Because we're going to continue. Okay, so I told you no builder gel because that's just going to bulk up the nail. It doesn't need it. Again, if your client needs it, that's different. But if you're asking me if you need it to seal the sticker, absolutely not. You can just use base gel, which is what I'm using here, Extreme Clear Plus from Leafgel. By the way, we do have our certification class open for enrollment now. You can find the link in the description box if you're interested to know the details of that upcoming certification class. Okay, so there's two things you can do here. One of the things is you can apply more base gel, so just even it out on the entire nail, just a tiny bit. Again, this just ensures that you're sealing the sticker. And why is it important to seal the sticker? Is it like gonna pop off, lift, or anything? No, it's just that if you use the wrong top coat, like if it's too thin For example, here I have glossy or non-wipe top gel by Leafgel. Non-wipe top gel is very thin, the one from Leafgel, but glossy has a little thickness. So even though this is a wipe required top gel, I don't mind because I actually need that thickness. So as long as you give me 2 layers here, you're good. Your sticker is good. So you can either do a base and then any one of your top coats, or you can do top gel, glossy top gel, the one that requires wiping, followed by your non-wipe top coat. That way it's sealed, it's done. But I need you to give me 2 layers. Now, can it last if you just went from sticker straight to top coat and maybe a thicker top coat like glossy? That one's a little thicker than non-wipe top gel from Leafgel. It may, but I have in the past run into issues where the sticker does kind of prop up from or through the clear gel because it's just too thin. So again, just for long wear, I need you to give me 2 coats here, 2 thin coats of either base gel and any one of your top coats, or a wiping required top gel followed by a non-wipe. Okay, that way you and I can sleep at night that your stickers are not going to live 2 to 3 days later on your clients, and you're going to get an inconvenient text, right, to have to fix this nail. Okay, so all right, once you have done that, your 2 layers, go ahead and give this a full cure. Your sealing and application of this nail sticker is done. Now let's move on to the Waterslide decal, which is so fun also to apply. Okay, we are now moving on to our Waterslide decal application, and let me tell you what, it took me a while to come around this application because it just made me nervous. The idea of water and gel nails, you can probably relate, it's like kind of nerve-wracking, like how does that work? But I promise you, it's so much easier than you think. And in fact, once I tried it, it was indeed easy and it was almost fun. Like I wanted to do another one and another one and another one, but I was doing it on my nails, so I just didn't want to have decals all over. But had I been doing this on a client, I may have even treated her to a couple of these because I was just having like too much fun with these, okay? Or I really enjoyed the one that I did. So here's what you will need for water decals. You will need scissors. If you have the curved ones, even better. A towelette or soft absorbent napkin. You will need plain water. You will need some pointy scissors. You will need a silicone cap or tool. Clear gels to seal in your sticker for long wear, as we've discussed in a regular traditional sticker. And you're also going to need a curing unit. So let's begin with the step by step. Okay, first things first, again, we're assuming we're working with gloves. We always want to wear gloves. You want to cut out that nail decal, and this is very important. When I first tried the Waterslide decal, okay, I'll be really honest, it was before this video, and I was like, oh, let me try this one sheet of designs that I got. And I applied it wrong, and I knew where I went wrong, that I actually kind of disliked it. But I was like, you know what? I got to do this for the viewers. We need to get this right. We need to master it. So I tried it again for this video. And again, like I said, I actually really, really like it. So here's the biggest tip that I can give you with the Waterslide decals, because you may be thinking, well, if the nails are super curvy, like they have a lot of C curve, does that mean that the decal is not going to apply flat? And that is a possibility, but I'm about to give you like the biggest tip so that doesn't happen. What you want to do is cut the decal very, very tight. And by very, very tight, I mean that you want to cut it very close to the actual design. Do not leave any like white or too much white border. Like I cut it out kind of big here, want to show you what a lot of border looks like, but also because I was getting kind of annoyed with moving the sheet all over. And if you don't have curvy scissors, you may want to do this, like cut out the design in a general shape and then finish it up, like taper it like I just did. So very, very tight, very close to the design. You want to trim that decal. Next step, grab your lint-free towelette or an absorbent soft napkin, and you want to just wet it with alcohol. I used a hairstylist color bottle with that slim nozzle so that I can pour water onto a towelette quickly. And if you're going to be using these water slide decals, you definitely want to have this on hand, okay? You don't want to get up in the middle of the service and be like, oh, let me go get the water, you know, let me just go wet this. It will take time. So I do recommend that you have a bottle like this. And again, this like nozzle with the for the hairdressers, you know, for the color is super easy to use because you can just pour the water. So enough raving about this bottle. Okay, so you really want to saturate this napkin. You definitely want to saturate the decal. So that white part behind the decal that we're going to remove is actually just paper. I believe it's photo paper. So it gets wet. The back of it gets wet super easy. And so when that back area gets wet, it obviously transfers to the front of the paper, and in between the decal and the paper, now you have a little bit of moisture, and that's what causes the decal design to separate from that white piece of paper. Okay, so as soon as that gets wet, it separates, like it just releases. So what you want to do is you want to test it first. You want to make sure that decal moves before you start your transfer on the nail, because this is where we all get nervous, where we start making mistakes. We fold it accidentally, or we may even tear it. Okay, so just breathe it out, take it easy. I'll show you here as an example. You can actually wet the paper and then remove the decal, or that design, right, can curl up on you, it can stick, and it just depends on the temperature, I think, of the room. And if there's like any air in your room, like, you know, I don't know, maybe someone's blowing the air conditioner, or they have a fan on you. So this water slide decal can fold and you may ruin it. So you're just gonna have to start over. So don't take it off completely off of the white paper. So just try to keep it on there. And what you want to do is just slide it a tiny bit, just when you know that it moves, right? Like, you know that it moves, that it's movable, that you can shift it onto the nail. As soon as you have confidence that you've done that, set the paper on the nail enhancement, and then ever so gently start pulling the white piece from underneath the slide, the water slide. Keep pulling it out until your design drops onto the nail plate or the nail enhancement. From there, you simply just use your tool to press that water slide decal flat. And this is almost the fun part. Like, from here, you're home free. Now, prior to applying this water slide decal, sorry, I forgot to mention this earlier. No, you do not have to remove the sticky layer from off of the nail. Okay, whether that's your natural nail with some gel polish, or either a foundation gel or a color gel, you don't have to remove the sticky layer. You are just sliding that decal right onto that sticky layer. Now, there may be some exceptions. Like, if you think by your experience with the product that you use that the sticky layer is very oily, like it's just too much, and you always realize this and you don't really like it, maybe you wipe it off, then please do wipe it off, okay? Because then it might just be too wet, too oily, too sticky. It may not, and it's not really like a sticky, it's like an oiliness, sticky annoyance, right? Sometimes with these gels that leave an inhibition layer. If you're working with Japanese gels, and I think most Korean gels, they don't really have a lot of sticky layer. So that's a big plus when working with these type of gels, okay? So that is it. You just glide it under, you press it on you press it on flat, you get rid of any bubbles on there with your silicone tool. And this is where your silicone tool really comes handy, and it is super helpful. And then I want you to give me 2 clear gels as you did in your nail stickers. Again, base and any top gel, or you can give me a wiping top gel with a non-wipe. Or this is something that I realized after all of this, because again, I was kind of like, okay, we're doing this again somewhere. And I actually did my nails later that evening. And if you apply a matte top gel as your finished top gel, right? Finishing top gel, you can actually see the design even clearer. And I really like the look, and it immediately reminded me of all of those Instagram Russian nail tech accounts where they have these structure manicures and they have these water slide decals on those nails. And I was like, duh, matte top coat is the way to go. So I really encourage you to try both, and I think that you are really going to love it with matte top gel. So do give that a try. All right, so now that we've tried both, which do you prefer? I want to know in the comment section. They are both gorgeous, personally. I think for easiness, Japanese gel nail stickers, I guess, can be the winner if you're pressed for time. But I think also that if you practice the water decals, you're absolutely going to really enjoy using them. And you're just going to like the finished product so much that you may transition. Now, my favorite Waterslide decals are from Nashley Nails, and they're a husband and wife company. And I'm so glad they brought them to us here in the US for us to play around. There is an assortment of them. Please feel free to just go in there and just look through them as eye candy. And of course, if you want to support our channel in today's episode, then we do have an affiliate code that you can use to save 10%, and we'll also make a small commission. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you again next week, and bye for now.